All right, question number 4. With sales tax revenues down and everyone tightening their budgets, what can be done to enhance revenues? And on the other end, what can be done, if anything, to reduce city expenses?
Well, on tax revenues, I'll get back to bringing more business to Taylor. Small, medium, large, all is welcome. I think we put the welcome ad out, obviously. That creates instant money pumped into the economy. And as far as reducing city expenses, I have looked over the budget many, many nights. I don't envy current council one iota. I commend them, in fact. The only way you can reduce city expenses at this point, in my opinion, is probably not making any more hires in the immediate future. I don't see any more employment or insurance going out. I would think that any spots that may be available or in a position to be frozen probably already have, but I would think that there are many positions that have assistants that those things may be addressed also. And if need be, there may need to be some accountability looking at there as whether some things need to be cut in some certain departments depending on productivity.
Enhanced revenues, the entire region is suffering, but we are seeing, at the state level, we are seeing some signs of improvement. It's kind of a chicken and egg deal. We want people to spend money, but we have to ask ourselves, what choices do we have here in our community to spend money on? And so I think those areas in which we have strong retail presence, I agree with Lonnie and others here, we need to encourage shopping in Taylor, spending in Taylor. But we also need to eye those particular areas, whether it's retail or other stores where we want to come out and purchase. Maybe we can attract those to the community. Maybe look around our neighboring areas and where are Taylor people spending their money. I talked with somebody here recently about those surveys where the retailers tally who their customers are and where they're from based on their zip code. Do we have any mechanism at hand that would give us data to show where Taylorites are spending their money, just simply to see what type of establishments that we're going to spend? And then maybe looking to see how can we attract those businesses to this community. But it's tough because we want to spend locally, but in some cases there's just not a provider for the good that we're looking for. City expenses, we're going through this at the state level. Obviously there's cuts, there's efficiency. Are we making do with IT, with the web, with portals? I've been in a position with a school district where we cut jobs. That's not always the best answer. I believe it's an option, but I believe you look at that after you have evaluated all your options. I think we need to compare ourselves to other cities our size. How do we stack up? I certainly hear concerns about mid-level management. We need to evaluate that. Do we need everybody in the office? Could we use some of those bodies out providing the services that impact you and I as citizens of this community? Thank you.
In as much as reducing city expenditures, I have gone through budget and I see that there can be a great deal of streamlining. Certainly vendor relations, we can renegotiate, we can do collective bargaining with other municipalities on purchases. Our procurement policy can be modified. There are any number of ways that we can reduce the city's expenditures and get ourselves back in budget.
So what can be done to enhance revenues? I go back to my comments about fostering a pro-business environment within Taylor. We need to create that culture that encourages business growth, and that's what's going to trigger additional revenues. And it's not a quick fix. It's all about culture change. As for reducing city expenses. You know, there was a recent article in which the various candidates were interviewed in the Taylor Daily Press about our views on taxes and budget. And I told the reporter at the time of my interview that, as far as I'm concerned, all options are on the table in this regard. I understand times are tough, but we need to look at all options in the belt tightening, whether that's, you know, outsourcing. Are there certain services that are provided internally among city staff that we could outsource? I know the most recent city budget include over $500,000 for parks and recreation. Well, how much of that would we better serve farming out some of this maintenance of parks to third parties? I'm not sure that's the answer, but it's certainly worth looking into and investing in those types of efficiencies. I was impressed by the reporter during the interview to identify almost specific jobs, specific functions to be eliminated. I mean, pressure. And you know, I said, you know, I'm running for city council. We have a city manager. He should be held accountable. His job is to find those efficiencies, to see where we can streamline, and to make recommendations to council. And if he's not doing that, he should be held accountable. I think everybody, it's a tough situation. People need to do their jobs, and we need to do the best. We need to do things in the best interest of Taylor.